Hey guys, Angela Knutson, and we're going to talk about in-person color matching. So in-person color matching, so important for your business. It's something that should be done all the time to kind of maintain your skills and practice. And in the beginning, it is super important to do in-person color matching. So you are learning colors, you're learning texture of skin, you're learning troubleshooting, and you're also learning selfie color matching by doing the more in-person color matching you do, the more selfie, like you're gonna get selfie color matching down like in no time. So in-person matching. So we can kind of go through like what you should be doing during an appointment, and just the key things to kind of go over. So in-person color matching, first make sure your clients come with a fresh face, nothing on it. Telling them to exfoliate is also a good idea, and just make sure they're not coming with any moisturizer on or anything like that, because you want to start fresh so you have nothing working against you that's kind of out of your control. So if they are super dry, you can show them our milk moisturizer and put a little bit of that on. If they're oily, I wouldn't recommend it. I would just do our setting spray and use that kind of as a primer. So I always kind of start with swatching them to see where they're at color-wise. So the highlight colors are just going to be your most important to get that color perfect. Contour colors are pretty versatile. Don't overthink those. But there are some that are better than others for skin types. So first let's go over main highlight. So main highlight color, just kind of get a general analysis of like what their skin tone is. Is it fair, medium, or dark? So if they're looking more like, I feel like I have like more of a medium skin tone, kind of start in the middle range of your highlights and do some swatches on their jawline and find which one melts best into their skin. So I'll just kind of show you, we can go for, maybe I want to start at Aura and see if that works for me. Then we'll go to Amber and see what that looks like. And I'm just gonna swatch those two and show you. Maybe I'll swatch one more. This is Linen. So obviously too light. So just kind of show you like a more dramatic difference. So obviously Linen's too light. Aura, it's okay, but it's looking a little too light. And then Amber kind of looks like my skin. So if you kind of rub it in a little bit, it kind of disappears into my skin. Aura is a little bit too light, and Linen obviously is too light. So you can kind of tell just by swatching what their main highlight color will be, and kind of rub this in. And then go from there. Start applying it on their jawline, like kind of like this, and see, okay, that looks really good. If you're between two colors, I'll do like one color on this side and then like one color on that side and kind of see which one I like better. Don't be afraid to wipe off these colors. If you're hating everything that you've done, makeup is meant to be wiped off. Okay, and then I'll go in with contours. I just kind of swatch in the same area and see which one looks the best. So you want to pick a contour that doesn't look too orangey or too warm, and then one that doesn't look too like grayish. You want to pick one that looks just like a shadow without being too warm. So an easy way to do that also is to go off like eye color or hair color. So if they have like green eyes or brown eyes, go with like a warmer contour. And if they have like blue eyes or like a cooler hair tone color, like a cool blonde or something, then I would go for a cooler contour like ash or something like that. So you just plan to play around with it and see what looks best with their skin tone without going too orangey is what usually happens if it doesn't match. And then go with a brightening highlight. So brightening highlight is just gonna be a couple shades lighter than the main highlight that you did. So you can kind of play around with that too, but I just kind of like keep it to like 2 to 3 shades brighter than your main highlight color. But just kind of see what looks best on them. Like these in-person color matches are all about trial and error and just playing around, and your clients will totally appreciate that. So don't be afraid to play. As far as blushes go, I just kind of ask for their vibe. Like, hey, what kind of blushes do you normally go for? Do you like more pinkies, more neutrals, more bronzy looking? or no blush at all. Like, what is their vibe? And then just kind of open up your palette and show them what you have, and just kind of tell them to pick which one is catching their eye first, and then you can chat about it and then try a couple other ones. I usually show them like my favorite ones that I go for, and then blush is kind of just like whatever they want to do. It's just the fun part of it. And then illuminator, I kind of go more towards like, if they're like more of a medium to deep skin tone, I'll do rose gold. And if they're more fair, I'll go for like angel or pearl or honey. And if they're more textured or if they're more mature skin, I'll usually skip the illuminator altogether, because sometimes that will accentuate any fine lines or wrinkles on their skin. So yeah, and then as far as like eyeshadows go, just play, just kind of like feel out if they want more of a natural vibe or if they want like a more glam vibe. Just kind of like feel out your client and make them feel like the best version of themselves, because that's really what we're going for. You also want to have some sort of like pricing breakdown or something for them when you're doing your match, because I feel like a lot of people don't want to go in blind and not know what things cost. So I usually have some sort of pricing breakdown with like a simple package and then like something that's like an everything that you used on them that day. And I'll kind of be like, hey, if you want everything that we just did on you today, this is what it costs. And I kind of show them. And usually people are blown away by the price point, and they're like, wow, everything you used is only that much. Like, okay, let's do it. So be pretty transparent about the pricing. And then I also always have my laptop out or my iPad or my phone ready to take their order in person, because you are going to sell so much more on the spot in person than if you didn't have something ready to take their order. People also want you to help them with their order. People get overwhelmed sometimes by all the different singles and compacts and brushes, and they kind of want you to do it for them. So the way that I word it is, do you want me to just do this order for you right now? Or is it something that you want to play around with at home? And usually 9 out of 10 times people to say they want me to do it for them because they get a little overwhelmed, which is also awesome because you can add all the things that you want them to have in their cart. So yeah, that's kind of how I do my in-person color matching. If they're oily, make sure that you have a loose setting powder is what I always use to set them, something a little bit more than vanilla dust if they're super oily. And if they're just kind of normal to dry, the vanilla dust is a great option to set it with. And then obviously the setting spray also at the end. But yeah, that kind of sums up in-person color matching. I feel like the key points to this is just have fun, don't overstress it, don't overthink it, and then don't feel like you have to be super professional. You can make errors and it's fine. The makeup wipes off. That's what it's meant to do. It's makeup. It's not anything permanent. So play around and people will just love it, and do it often. So that way you're always practicing and you're always in the game and you're learning new things all the time. Make sure that you go out and you practice on every skin type, every single skin type that you can get your hands on. Do a roll call for super mature skin, super dry skin, rosacea, melasma. Get every skin type under your belt so you have the knowledge to tell people how to troubleshoot with their makeup. Okay, I hope that helped. Thanks for watching.